What's up, guys? I know this wasn't the Danmachi video you were expecting.
Yeah, unfortunately volume 15 is, well, one of us has got it, the other one has not, so tragedy has ensued yet again in that front. But we are back for, is it episode 10? Yes, I believe it is episode 10 of season 3. This is smack dab in the middle of volume 11 material. So this is kind of like, I guess the first episode we really start to see like the conflict of that book kind of entail. It's really cool. I like a lot of, just the storyline from what's covered in the episode, and I think they adapted it in a really fun way. There was some things I wasn't expecting. I think one scene in particular, I think both of us kind of shared. I love I don't know what that was, but it was something. Anyway, Michael, since you're throwing stuff all over the floor, what did you think of this episode?
No, I thought it was really great. I really enjoyed the dwarf man scene.
Is his name Gareth?
Yeah, very dwarf name. That was fun. You got to see Liu with level boost against Eyes. At least you got to see how them confront each other. Yeah,
I hope we get even a little snippet of that fight. I know it's not really shown in the books, but if we got 15-20 seconds of that fight, that'd be pretty fun. I do love the whole scenario where Belle's just walking. He's like, all right, I gotta be a distraction, and then just all of these women start coming up to him being like, hey, I got business with you. And then Eyes is just like, is he a delinquent? I do love it because in a lot of ways that would be kind of the perspective, or I guess the represented approach, or anyway, sorry.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, and there is one funny line. I think it's Liu says it in book 15. Don't worry, it's not a massive spoiler. Where where obviously there's women around Belle, and she's like, he's got 2 more now. Yeah,
because I love it. I love her dynamic. At least in the early parts, before they get their special moment of being the one that's gotta protect him and keep all the other ones from doing stuff. So, and I think especially the moments she has with Aisha are really great. I do love that. I don't know, Aisha is one of those characters that really, I don't want to say grows on you because she's already a really likable character, but I think the way that she decides to change in some of the situations of the story make you appreciate her a lot more. But I do love these kind of old school Aisha moments. It's just really fun.
Aisha's kind of the perfect character to have in an isolated scene throughout. Every time I see her on screen, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fun scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't work if she was the main character because she does some dark things, especially in times of war.
Too bad we couldn't see that. That would have been funny.
But yeah, no, she's always a great character to have, and we got even Aina, I guess is her name. She shines a little bit in this episode as well.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. I couldn't remember. It's obviously funny because of just all of them. Interacting with them all seemingly at once, and especially when Eyes is watching them. But in the book, I don't remember it having such a heavy comedic aspect, but I think this is one time where they do kind of make it, not necessarily even more family-friendly, they just give it a different spin, and I just really like the way that it's presented.
The comedy in this episode was great, for sure. And then we also got to see another girl character. Her name starts with an N, and I can never say it. It's Nahza, I think.
Naza or whatever.
Naza, yeah, something like that. She's also pretty helpful in the series, and we get to see her for the first time in a while, so that was cute. Let's see, what else do we get to see?
Well, we do get Hermes mentioning or having a little discussion with Aina. I always mess it up, but also planting the seeds that we'll probably see unfold in the next
seeds
episode.
Of darkness.
Yeah,
and we didn't even talk about this. This is yeah, exactly. This is probably my favorite scene. Is we get transformations. We get we get intrigue. We get deception.
Yeah, Lily is always... I'm not going to say she's the main MVP, but everything that her roles associated in for a lot of their plans is just too good. And this is another example of that. I think I love it especially just because it messes with the Loki Familia.
And I did laugh in the books and obviously on screen watching it because it was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Even how they animated Lily, the characters she was portraying when there's no one else around, even her walking away was funny. Yeah.
And Eyes is still like one of those characters that it's like I continue to scratch my head why people like, but it's fine though. I do love how like
pretty with no personality, the perfect girl.
I mean, I don't know, because like her facial expression when she's just standing there, it's like you just see like it's like a monkey just going like this. At least that's what I picture whenever I see her animated.
It is. I think they probably.
It's so blank.
They probably. I don't know how it is in the book. Obviously, you don't have facial expression. I'm sure maybe in the manga they have it like that, but. It does remind me of like the One Punch Man. Whenever like the artist is lazy and he draws like his face. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. It does remind me of that quite a bit. But yeah, in some ways this was a setup episode, but it did have some really cool elements. We got to see the whole gang. We also got a cameo of Hestia Familia where they don't even know what they're trying to do at this point. So they're still weighing their options and seeing how they can help Belle, since they're such bros at this point, until she forces Belle to leave. Anyway,
I also love just like the whole vibe that Frey has of just being like, I want to see what's going on. Like that's how she phrases the situation. It's so good.
Yeah.
You also get what is it? Ween getting separated from the main group, which leaves it on a cliffhanger that I think a lot of like show watchers only are. It's probably going to be like a pretty tense cliffhanger for an episode. For us, it's like, it's not like a big thing, but I do love.
It was a good way
what
to
kind
end
of what it leads into it, or how it leaves off, if I can put words together. But I don't know. He has his finger raised, so he must.
I have a thing to talk about. So we talk about how we don't like Loki Familia, and I think one of the reasons why is a lot of the characters aren't their own individual people that make their own decisions. So, like, for example, Tiona, I don't know, it's one of them. She was like, because I feel like she wasn't really in on the plan, didn't really want to capture the monsters or kill them all.
Yeah.
But obviously, my main leader, my midget leader over here, I don't even care to remember his
perfectly
name.
Normal size for Prums, okay.
What is his name? I don't even...
well, his title's
Finn.
Braver, but Finn.
Yeah. But obviously, like, Finn's, like, obsessed with doing this for, like, honor or whatever crap, who cares? He's obviously in the wrong. But, like, if it was, like, Hestia Familia, they'd be like, all right, let's have a conversation, we're gonna do what's right. But with them, it's just like, just follow orders.
Yeah, well, and I think it's just that, they're not really interested in asking the more... I don't want to say philosophical, but maybe like the
right and wrong,
the moral, the moral question of like, is what I'm doing have any kind of negative repercussions, or like would I regret this if I knew like the whole extent of it? I don't think they're like really interested in it, which I think probably sells the point of them being kind of like villain-esque in this like arc, right? I think you pointed out like a good thing in the episode of Finn is like really renowned for being like this like really great strategist and like maybe the best in the city, but I don't know, like some of the things in this episode, and I know he did it in the book, so I guess maybe if we went back in the book, that would be like one critique looking back on it that we didn't say maybe in our review. But there is some like questionable decisions he has when he's like giving directions to people.
Yeah, specifically with Eyes following Belle, you could have chose any other person and it would have been better.
Well, and like they know that Eyes has a connection to Belle, like they've kept in secret that she trained him, right? But like they know like she's at least talked to him on several times, so I don't know why somebody in his position would even risk, putting somebody that might not do their job because of whatever feelings. But I guess it's just because like they think she's a robot, which she kind of is.
The worst kind. Especially especially next episode you'll see. So overall it was a great episode. I think this season has really been, I think it may just be the content being so good, but I feel like they really brought it. As far as adapting this content, and I'm excited for what they have in the future. I mean,
I think the next two episodes will be a big deciding factor as how we see the season overall, because the last two episodes should have like some of the biggest moments of what's covered in the season. So I think right now I would say my enjoyment level is probably the same as season one, and I'm hoping by the end of these next two episodes it will be like my favorite season. But I mean, like the material, like you've said, and we've said in the past, like this is probably the best material this series has to offer so far. I mean, that's not to say that the next arc isn't fantastic, because it is. But This one just has so much moving parts to it that really expand upon the world and the characters. So it's just really been a treat to see it finally adapted.
And and this is a good time if you're anime onlys, or if you read all the novels, either or, whatever group. If you want to comment on like how you're feeling about this season, this is probably a good episode to do it before we wrap it all up.
Yeah, because I feel like overall we're gonna have like a better positive response than the last season. I think throughout, probably even when the second season was airing, there was a lot of people that were like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not feeling it as much as the first season, or like, I feel a little disappointed. But in this season, I really haven't seen any of that at all commented, at least from you guys. So if you are feeling that, then maybe you should let us know, because I would be kind of interested to see what the majority are saying. But I've been liking it, at least. A couple of minor things here and there, but overall, I think it's been pretty solid. So I can't wait to talk about the next episode, which I didn't see the name drop for the next episode.
Yeah, they may have played it, I'm not sure. But probably should be something like Betrayal.
But I would imagine we're going to see the Betrayal, and then we're going to see two people going up against each other. I don't know if we'll see... There's a lot that happens within this kind of like mission to get the Xenos back into the dungeon. A lot of moving parts. So I'm sure we'll probably touch back to some of the things that we saw in this episode with like, Lily doing her kind of espionage stuff, or like Welf and Mikado holding off people. But yeah, it's kind of sad to say, but I almost want to go just straight into the last episode just because I'm looking so forward to that fight. But I'm okay to wait, because I know the next episode is going to be good too, at least if it's done right.
Even the dwarf, I think, like, it gave me hope because the dwarf scene was done pretty perfectly, and it was funny. Yeah, it was like a great time, so I'm excited to see what happens.
And again, that scene is like, in all actuality, it's probably the same amount of time as it is in the book, and I think it was one that's just like, even if they don't touch back on it, which I'm sure they probably will, right? Because you didn't really see like how that ends, right? But I think even just showing it the amount that they did in this episode, if we didn't go back next episode, I think that was still one that I'd be like, all right. And I don't know, but I'm curious to see if you like everything done in these next couple episodes, because like you've said before, this is covering your favorite book, if I'm not wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. So it'll be a lot to see. But we should probably let you go, guys. We do have the Freya spoiler discussion probably up before this video, guys. So go check that out if you read that book and you're looking for a place where people want to talk about it. We will have volume 15 up as soon as I get my frickin' book. But yeah, I think that's going to be one, depending on what people think, we might have a spoiler discussion on it. But we'll see what the future holds. But
yeah, from what I've seen, there's not too much. From what I've read, not seen, there's not too much to discuss on. But maybe especially maybe they'll do a hint at the end towards where they're going to go in the future. Or maybe the author will talk about it. So we'll see.
Which should be really fun, because I can't wait to see what they do for a next big arc. But anyway, guys, that'll conclude this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later, addicts.
Peace.